It started with the way my wife turned her phone face down. Not once, not by accident, every single time I walked into the room. At first, I told myself I was being ridiculous. People deserve privacy. Marriage doesn't mean you read every message or question every smile. But there's a difference between privacy and protection, and Emily wasn't just keeping her phone private, she was guarding it like it could ruin her life. We had been married 9 years. Long enough to know the sound of each other's footsteps, long enough to know when silence had changed shape. Her laugh changed first. It became lighter when she was looking at her screen, softer, younger somehow. Then, when I asked what was funny, she would lock the phone and say, "Nothing, just something from work." Work became the answer to everything. Late calls? Work. Sudden dinners? Work. New perfume? Don't be weird, I bought it on sale. The first real crack came on a Tuesday night. She was in the shower and her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. I wasn't trying to snoop. I was rinsing a coffee mug when the screen lit up. One message. "Still thinking about your voice last night." No name, just the letter M. I stood there with the mug in my hand, water running over my fingers until it was almost burning. When she came downstairs, I asked, "Who's M?" Her face didn't panic. That was what scared me. She just smiled, too calm. "Marketing group chat," she said. "You're really looking at my phone now?" That was the first time she made me feel guilty for noticing something that hurt me. So I stopped asking, but I didn't stop watching. Over the next 2 weeks, the pattern became impossible to ignore. Every Thursday, she stayed late. Every Thursday, she came home smelling faintly of cedar cologne that wasn't mine. Every Thursday, she was kinder than usual, like guilt had taught her manners. Then came the receipt. It fell out of her purse when she dropped her keys by the door. A hotel bar downtown, 2 drinks, paid at 10:48 p.m. She had told me she was at a team budget meeting. I sat at the kitchen table and stared at that receipt for almost an hour. That night, when she came home, I didn't confront her. I kissed her cheek. I asked how the meeting went. She lied so easily, I almost admired the practice. "Exhausting," she said. "You have no idea." She was right. I didn't. Not yet. Subscribe if you think you already know where this story is going, because I didn't. I started checking the things people forget to hide. Not her phone, not her messages, the small things. Bank statements, calendar changes, parking app history, a charge for flowers I never received, a dinner reservation under her name for 2. And then I found him. Marcus Hale, married, 2 kids, worked in her office building, not even her department. His wife's name was Dana. I found her through a family photo he had been careless enough to leave public. For 3 days, I did nothing. I went to work. I made dinner. I listened to Emily tell me she was just tired, while she smiled at her phone under the blanket beside me. The worst part wasn't that she cheated. It was that she thought I was too stupid to recognize loneliness while lying next to the person causing it. The confirmation came on a Friday. Emily said she was visiting her sister. But her sister posted photos from a birthday party 2 towns away, and Emily wasn't in a single one. So I drove downtown. I don't know what I expected. Maybe part of me still wanted to be wrong. But there they were, outside a small Italian place near the hotel district. Marcus had his hand on the back of her neck. Emily leaned into him like she had been waiting all week to breathe. I didn't get out of the car. I didn't scream. I took one photo, then another, and then I drove home. When she came in at midnight, she found me sitting in the living room with the lamp on. "Why are you awake?" she asked. I looked at her dress, the earrings I bought her, the lipstick she never wore for me anymore. "Did you have fun with your sister?" For half a second, something flickered in her eyes. Then the mask returned. "You're starting to scare me," she said quietly. That sentence almost worked. It was designed to make me feel like the dangerous one. So I nodded. "You're right," I said. "We should talk tomorrow." She went upstairs thinking she had won another night. She hadn't. The next morning, I printed everything: receipts, photos, dates, charges, screenshots of public posts. Nothing stolen, nothing hacked. Just the truth she had left lying around because she never thought I would gather it. Then I messaged Dana. I kept it simple. My name is Daniel. I'm sorry to contact you like this, but I believe your husband Marcus is having an affair with my wife. I have proof. I won't send anything unless you want to see it. She replied 11 minutes later. Send it. I did. For an hour, nothing happened. Then my wife's phone started ringing. Once, twice, 5 times. She came downstairs pale, holding it like it had turned into a live wire. What did you do? She whispered. I was making coffee. Same kitchen, same mugs, different marriage. I told his wife. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Then she said the most predictable thing in the world. You had no right. I turned around slowly. No right? Her eyes filled with tears, but they weren't sad tears. They were trapped tears. You destroyed everything, she said. I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, because it was insane how people can burn down a house, then blame the smoke alarm. No, I said. I stopped helping you hide it. Marcus called her next. I could hear him yelling through the phone. Dana had thrown him out. His children were asking questions. His job might get involved because some of their meetups happened during company hours. Emily stood in the hallway, crying into the phone, saying, I didn't know he would do this. That was the moment I understood. She wasn't sorry she hurt me. She was sorry I stopped being quiet. By evening, she was pleading. It didn't mean anything. Then, it was emotional before it was physical. Then, you were distant. Then, you pushed me into feeling alone. I listened to every version of the story where somehow I became responsible for her choices. When she finished, I put one folder on the table. Inside was a copy of the evidence and the name of a divorce attorney I had already called. Her face changed. Not anger this time. Fear. You're really going to leave me? I looked at the woman I had loved for 9 years. The woman who used to fall asleep with her hand tucked under my arm. The woman who had become a stranger with my last name. No, I said. You left first. I'm just making it official. She moved out 2 weeks later. Marcus didn't leave his wife for her. Of course he didn't. Men like him rarely want a new life. They want a secret room inside the old one. Dana messaged me once after everything settled. Thank you for telling me the truth. I stared at that message for a long time, because that was all I ever wanted too. Not revenge, not chaos, just truth. These days, my house is quieter, but it's honest quiet, the kind that lets you sleep. Sometimes people ask if I regret telling Dana. I don't, because affairs survive in darkness. Lies grow when good people stay silent to keep the peace. And I learned something the hard way. Peace built on betrayal isn't peace. It's just a cage with soft lighting. The truth didn't destroy my marriage. It only opened the door.